Warren P. Sonoda. Thank you,
Oh,
Warren
oh,
Paul Sonoda.
yes. Oh, should we do that over again?
Such a director. I love
Because
it. Now we're
take
gonna
two. Because it's
no.
just like totally cut out on me. Did it cut out on you?
It doesn't cut out actually. What it does is it just I don't know, it does something. I don't know. I think it's hilarious that you're like, cut, should we do it again?
Oh, let's go again. It's perfect. Let's go again.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
I thought that would have been funny.
No,
Stop it.
no, it's fine.
Okay. We're in a season, this is perfect. We're in a season of imperfection, and we're in a season of being able to connect through our screens
That's
in
right.
whatever we're wearing and whoever we want to be. What does this new climate feel like for you as a creative? And tell us how you are making some Canadian lemonade, turning lemons into lemonade creatively.
Yeah, besides staying inside and washing my hands, and when I do have to walk the dog, being socially distant from everybody else. I mean, myself and my wife Jen Pogue we're doing a part, and it's for us it's great because we do have Scruffy our dog, and we're able to kind of just be together and read the news, and any anxiousness or sort of uncertainty that kind of creeps in. It's kind of nice having each other, and I certainly couldn't do it without Jen. That's for sure. I think for a lot of us, when this first started, the initial reaction was, okay, time to get to work. Time to I literally sat down on I self isolated on Friday the 13th, so ominous. So on the Saturday, I sat down to start writing because I have a bunch of projects I'm working on, and I just didn't want to do it. I had no desire, no creative spark. At first, I was like, "Oh, so this sucks," but then I was like, "You know what? No, I mean, this is a totally new place we're in, uncharted territory." So I just started contacting some of my friends, and I was like, "Listen, I'll be reaching out to you anyway, but do you feel like doing it on Instagram Live?" And thankfully, some of my friends said yes. And the other thing is, I'm very fortunate because I have very talented friends, and we've started this whole Cooped Up Creatives sort of impromptu pop-up, socially distant fireside chats that we do on my Instagram handle, Shoot Good Films. So it's kind of just a way for me, like, kind of like this, we would probably talk at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But why not just do it for 50 of our closest internet friends?
Totally. Amazing. So Cooped Up Creatives, I thought that perhaps the name was a double meaning because of your Cooper's camera, and but
no. I mean, that would be brilliant if it was. Maybe yes. Yes, it is.
Yes,
Thank you for that idea. No, Jen and I, we were sitting around, and we were like, what are we going to call this thing? Because it just kind of came out of nowhere, and we were cooped up, and we just kind of latched onto that. And the creatives part was to acknowledge that the people I'm talking to are massively creative and talented. They just might not be in that place right now because of the quarantine, right? So it's one way to celebrate people's work. Like this week on Cooped Up Creatives, we're doing sort of a Canadian Screen Week CSA inspired / Canadian Film Fest week, because this was going to be the week where all the red carpets were happening.
Yeah.
The Canadian Film Fest was doing its run in Toronto, and the CSAs were going to be on and celebrating everybody on Sunday. But unfortunately, those red carpets are still rolled up until a later date. So instead, we're doing these sort of impromptu live chats on Instagram.
Well, it's incredible that you're doing that. And First Weekend Club also has made a pivot. Well, we always champion Canadian screen talent, but really, really shining a light on the films that are obviously going to be now opening on the VODs, but also people like yourselves, Naomi Sneakus, Joel McCarthy here in Vancouver.
Joel, this is a spoon.
Yes. And all the different ways that creatives are thinking, okay, this is bigger than all of us. And it's heavy. There is heaviness. It's not it's not all just a time to be home being creative.
No,
There's
I mean there are
gratitude.
people that are sick. There are
Yeah.
people right in my immediate circle that have gotten sick, or they know people that are sick. You know, you and I are both sort of active socially on Facebook and all the other platforms, and you know, we're kind of following our friends. Some of them
Yes.
are filmmakers that have gotten COVID-19, and you know, thankfully they're looks like they're you know, recovering well. But I mean, this is a terrible situation for everybody.
Yeah. We've seen through history that often when humans are restricted and the human spirit is put into a small place, that it ultimately is like the little dandelion coming up through the concrete,
Right.
sometimes bigger and brighter than ever. And
Oh, very
for,
cinematic. Very good.
no, but it's, being in a pressure cooker can actually really distill, what is actually important and what's not, and what those things are that you really need to say or get out, and what things you can let go. It's funny how it just puts it into perspective.
Absolutely, and just being able to just take time, and you know, me and Jen, we see you know, we're together, we live together, but to be actually spend time and not worrying about deadlines or what's coming up next, even though we made this show out of nothing. So now, like, we actually have things to do. But you know, definitely talking to other filmmakers throughout this, really, it has been really nice, and technology has helped that. I know there's been so many Zooms chats that have sprouted up, and really, you know, we have a bunch of filmmakers. Jeremy Lalonde is releasing James versus the Future Self on digital on April 3rd. Francis Luda and Jeremy Benning with Alone Across the Arctic, which was to premiere tonight at the Canadian Film Fest, is now going to go on digital, and they're going to be pushing that. And The Body Remembers When the World Broke Open is making its digital release. I think right now, I think you can get it right now on iTunes and all the digital platforms. And I know,
you're interviewing them, correct, this week?
I am interviewing, yes. So Maya and Kathleen of The Body Remembers When the World Broke Open, they're amazing, wonderful filmmakers, and they've agreed to come on the Cooped Up Creatives to talk about their brilliant, harrowing, timely film. And I love it too. You know, shout out to the Vancouver film community. You got some amazing talent out there. Hopefully, I'll be speaking with Jem Garrard and Zach Kopowski, and talk to more West Coast filmmakers, because you have such a live scene. Shout out to Joel, who I love, and I love that he's doing the Quarantine Project.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, the Performance Project. And you know what? That said, you should. I'm trying to like link you two up for the challenge right now, because you should be making a short film from in your home. Joel, who you're going to also see in our segment, Canadian Lemonade, said that already. He's stunned with the submissions he's getting from people making short films in their quarantine. Like he's just like mind blown with the level that's coming out there. So that said, when and where can people tune in to watch your Cooped Up Creatives? First Weekend Club's behind you all the way, and
thank you so much. Well, I mean, we're doing 10 this week, right? So instead of me going through all 10, I'll just shout out the Instagram handle. It's Shoot Good Films on Instagram. So it's the saying I always tell people. It's like, you know, we're talking, great. Okay, shoot good film. And it's just my way of saying, you know, do good work, be safe, have fun. So Shoot Good Films on Instagram. If you follow that, I kind of post the schedule. Okay. But for the Vancouver film teams out there, we have Maya and Kathleen on this Friday, March 27th at 7:30 p.m. in Toronto. But that's 2 p.m. in Toronto. So I'm getting it wrong already. 2 p.m. in Toronto, which is 11 a.m. in Vancouver on Friday.
Awesome.
But they'll be on my live channel at Shoot Good Films, and Jason Jones and Samantha B of Cooper's Camera. You were just shouting that out. They're coming on Saturday at 3 p.m. in Toronto and 12 noon in Vancouver.
Really excited about this, and this has been going on now for a good week and a bit.
Yes.
But
yeah.
imagine
I'm on day 13. I don't know what day you're on.
Well, and it started Friday the 13th. So you're on day 13. I mean, there's got to be something in that. I'm in day. We're not going to talk about what day I'm on, but this is it's really, the Canadian film industry is already so united, and it's very cool to see what else this wellspring of creative endeavor.
Yeah, and I kind of tip my hat to the Canadian government for acting decisively and quick, not just in the immediate health response to the pandemic and making sure there's testing done and reinforcing the front line, our healthcare workers and our doctors. Oh my God, just massive shout out and love to them. The work they're doing, I can't even fathom how hard it is right now. But they just released that the entire benefit package is under this thing called CERB, CERB, and it I'm going through the material right now, and it looks like it captures the gig economy workers, like film workers, people that have had contracts in the last year of at least $5,000 can now, because a lot of times we're not eligible for EI. And now workers can access this CERB program. So Google that if you're in Canada and you're a gig economy worker, like a film worker or a waiter or service industry or whatever, and find some short-term help.
The mayor of Canadian film himself speaks.
You doing good? Are you getting under the quarantine umbrella and being okay? Or is everything?
The quarantine umbrella.
Yeah.
Hello, David Heyman.
Hello.
Award-winning music supervisor of the Supergroup.
Hi.
How you doing during this improvisational jazz of the film and TV industry?
I'm okay. I've been locked in my basement. My wife locked me in the basement, so I'm just playing bass and keeping busy. Keeping busy with my podcast, keeping busy with work. We're busy, but I'm stuck down here. I'm literally stuck down here. If someone could save me, send help, please.
That's every musician's dream, to be working and stuck in the basement with all their equipment. Come on, don't rub it into everyone in Canada.
Well, I got kicked out of homeschooling because I went too far in the indigenous culture through the lens of music and broke down in tears at Secret Path. And so I've been kicked out of the educational process. So I'm stuck here doing what I do, which is music supervision. But I'm happy.
You're the unsupervised music supervisor.
Generally speaking.
So tell us right now, and just to look at some of your lauded accomplishments in Canadian film this year, we've really been stoked on some of the films you've worked on, and First Weekend Club's been supporting them. One's for Brothers and Clifton Hill, Disappearance at Clifton Hill. Congrats on that. And I'm sure a few projects that are in the can, kind of on hold, coming out. But as always, we're seeing so much creativity from you. What are you seeing and inspired by with musicians right now in this wellspring of online engagement and creativity, even during such a tough time for artists right now?
Well, with tough times comes honest music, and I think we were in a bit of a rut creatively. I think people were writing music a lot of times in my arena for film and television, so those people are now writing from the heart, which is really special. So we're getting songs about isolation, existentialism, outsidership, all these themes that are either in play already in drama or will become in play when we start exploring this creatively and dramatically in television and film. So I think there will be a place for a lot of this music through our world. I'm also seeing what I always love to preach is less is more. And through just proximity or lack of proximity to a studio, we're getting stripped down. We're getting the real. We're getting to the core of what music's all about. It's about the makers. It's about a melody that works. And if it doesn't work, and you have to throw the kitchen sink at it to make it work, it probably wasn't a great song in the first place. So we're seeing some nice stuff flush through, the filter of purity.
Wow. Yeah, and even just going online at night onto Facebook or seeing what people are up to. There's I'm actually seeing more live performance than I've seen in so long. It's a total joy to be around. And it's interesting because in speaking with other filmmakers and creatives, the screenwriters are saying the same thing, and the comedians are saying the same thing. And so, if you can predict sort of that wave of what we'll see in storytelling, and obviously music is part of that, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I was thinking about the 60s and all the films that were coming out after the Vietnam and all the music and how that influenced storytelling. So here you are being able to match the music to stories.
Yeah. I mean, I got a song for every feeling we have right now, love will keep us together, ooh child, things are going to get easier, I think all of these classics too will also have a place in film and television. I think a lot of times you see on the balconies of rooftops, people singing. They're singing familiar songs. They're singing evergreen songs, we call them. The ones like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. We're seeing the songs that matter because music matters. And that's dramatic. It is something that will always be a part of drama and conflict, unfortunately. And that's where, good film lies, I think.
So right now with the supergroup, many projects are on hold or still in development. Are you working with filmmakers and producers, directors on some of their music because they have this beautiful time for development, or how's that working?
Yeah, I mean, filmmakers always want more time. We always want more time to sit in with them and develop a project. And that's when the project is, I think, strongest at the end, when we can talk about film. I mean, we have a jazz film going on with Tyrone Tomey, who's a fantastic director, and the whole thing's put on pause. But this now allows the cast to rehearse and kind of workshop that. It's a gift of development, and we're taking it for what it is. There are a couple of shows we were working on. The tone has changed a little bit, and we're there. And of course, of the numerous television shows that are in development, I'm sure a show like Nurses is going to have a different tonality to it next season. So we're there to roll with the punches, and new directors that we want to work with, because we want to stay creative, we want to stay limber, we want these projects not to die. And this is a good chance to reach out to a supervisor at the supergroup and cause trouble, like poke around, see what's available, what we can do. We want to roll our sleeves up and get dirty and get creative. Now is a great time to do that, to develop.
Just Lysol your sleeves after they get dirty.
Yeah, this is all virtual. I mean, we are close to my dream where I don't have to go to spotting sessions anymore. And I just need to Skype in or loop and figure out some technology to bring us all together. There's no reason why 9 adults should sit in an editing bay that's built for 1 or 2 people. I mean, I think there's a certain culture that's going to change in filmmaking. I wonder how it's going to affect post. Obviously, everything's pushed back. I'm concerned that budgets may not change, but the insurance structure and all that stuff is going to change, causing, money from the top line to go away from the bottom line music stuff. So I'm concerned about music budgets, but I'm always concerned about music budgets. I always want what I need, which is a good 10% on a minimum on a Canadian film. Yeah. We don't even get that. So it worries me that, budgets will suffer from this, and artists in turn will suffer.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're known for being a real champion of artists and of unheard music. And so, moving into the conversation about artists now, because artists have time on their hands and everyone wants to meet you and your colleagues, and share some of this heartfelt, as you said, music, heart bursting forward. Can you tell us a little bit about, you mentioned
guilt?
the guilt of being locked in your basement with all your gear. No, the Guild, you said that there's an online meet a music supervisor thing happening.
That's right. The Guild of Music Supervisors of Canada, we have come together, and about a dozen of us have made ourselves available this week for online one-to-one virtual sessions, where we'll have a 10-15 minute one-to-one pitch session with artists. They can pitch us their music. They can ask us how we need it, what we're working on, how they can service us, and really, more than anything, start a relationship, kick that door open. So we booked ourselves for a stack of time. We're totally booked up this week. We're absolutely going to do it again. Hopefully all the music supervisors will join in. It's at guildofmusicsupervisors.ca/121.
Just like 1, 2, 1.
Oh, no, one hyphen to one. So yeah. Or just go to guildofmusicsupervisors.ca and see it in the top menu, 1-to-1. We're going to make noise. Follow us at the Guild of Music Supervisors Canada, and we'll have news there. So we're going to keep trying to support artists, as in this difficult and curious time that we're living in right now.
Thanks for that. And that's always such a great way there's always, I think, no matter who we are in life, there's always someone who we can share our experiences with, and then someone who we would benefit from hearing that too. And it's such a great time to be able to connect and lead and learn where we can. So even thanks for your time here, but I'm not going to let you go until you plug your Supercast podcast.
That's right. I mean, my podcast, The Music Supercast, is a celebration of that collision of film and television. It's a place where we celebrate the actors, the directors, the songwriters, the composers. We talk a little bit about music and how to make your film and whatever you're working on as amazing as possible, to use that intellectual property, that nostalgia, the songs you love, how to make it work, how to put a new lens on thing. We introduce new artists that are relevant to film and television, and we love to dissect the creative process. So lots to be found at Music Supercast on socials, and then you can find the podcast everywhere. Thanks for that. I would have forgot.
Well, I wouldn't forget. It's freaking
That's why you're a pro.
Now, we're gonna keep it Canadian.
Let's keep it always. Yeah.
3 evergreen. You mentioned Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, but let's talk about 3 other evergreen songs to get you through these times. The quarantine, the apocalypse. I don't want to put too much levity there because it's actually really serious for many right now. But what are 3 evergreens?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's my favorite song. But let's say April Wine's All Right. That's a good one. I think people need to feel that kind of a vibe right now. I think when it comes to everything, the Tragically Hip's Poets is a good one. If you're dancing alone, that is a dance at home alone boogie fucking song. It's got all of that feeling without having, I'm not allowed to swear on the show, but you got to feel that. You feel most hip songs, you want to go out and party. But Poets is like, don't tell me what everyone's up to. This is me in my underwear. I'm dancing like Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. That's a big pick for me. And then I think for comfort, I think Lost Together by Blue Rodeo. We're all just trying to figure this out, and we're all in this together. We're all going to get out of this together. The beauty in that recording is the harmony. It's the brotherhood. It's the togetherness of the studio, and I think it encompasses where we're going to be.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And Jim Cuddy's doing such a great job right now live. And I don't know if you've been seeing what they've been up to, but.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love that, Factor's supporting this stuff. Facebook's supporting these live streams. Mm-hmm. I hope that translates into dollars and cents. I know some people are supporting charities, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I understand that Facebook is pushing this down, which is absolutely ridiculous. As a music supervisor, I can tell you that it is absolutely within a Canadian's right to cover a song. We are allowed to cover a song based on Canadian copyright law, and for Facebook to take that down based on their laws is ridiculous. They could even geo block us from the States if that's a problem. We don't really care. The rest of the world needs to hear these beautiful renditions, and they can't be taken down by Mark Zuckerberg.
I wonder what's going to happen when I post this little amazing rant of opinion. We're gonna see. Maybe it'll get taken down.
That's all right. I got ins with Zuck.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's all good.
Is he hiring right now? Because about 10 million of us need a job. Uh, but this will be up on YouTube, and we're gonna spread this around. Firstweekendclub.ca, here to champion all aspects of Canadian film, and always such a joy to chat with you.
Check out Anne at 1300 Feet as well. That's another one that's like in theaters and doing amazing.
Oh yeah,
Canadian film that's just love those super independent ones, and that's where my heart is.
We've been championing that, and we're really excited about it. And again, congratulations on that and Disappearance at Clifton Hill, your jazz film titled TB, revealed soon.
Learn to Swim and Once We're Brothers.
Yeah, Once We're Brothers.
On the band.
Actually, The Wait the Wait's a pretty good evergreen song for right now.
I think that's a good one. I'm trying to think of the good. You know, sadly, it might be Chest Fever. I'll leave you on that dark note.
I'll leave you on this. Well, no, I was gonna make a reference to the poet song in the frozen food section, but there's not much in there these days. But I was gonna sing it, and I'll spare you.
Yeah, I couldn't get my Bassa fish today. I'm really upset. Life's tough. First world problems.
It really is first world problems, and
yeah, we'll be okay. We are going to be okay. If everyone listens and smartens up, we'll be okay. We'll get our toilet paper and Bassa fish back in no time, our live entertainment and our hugs. I truly believe that.
In the interim, we'll stay tuned to the Supercast. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Given the circumstances.
Thank you for doing what you are doing. Please tell Canada what you are up to for our time in social isolation.
Well, honestly, the beginning of this social isolation was a really tough internal battle. It was really scary to see pretty much all of the arts events and community kind of get punched really hard. You know, pretty much every festival was canceled, every live music thing was canceled, every stand-up comedy thing was canceled. So kind of while I was having an existential crisis, I decided to pivot from despair to trying to be a part of the solution. So I created a little film festival / variety show that's actually turning into something not as little, but it's called the Vancouver Quarantine Performance Project, and it's going to be a festival that has awards / a live variety show that has 4 different categories. You can either submit an original monologue, so it has to be something that was written originally. It could be written by your friend and performed. A short film made in quarantine with the people you live with, so that's 5 minutes max, but made within the restrictions and being safe about not spreading the virus. There's an original song competition. I know that you might be interested. I don't know if you are or not, but if you want to record an original song and either do a video of you recording it or a quick music video, you can do that. And lastly, there's a stand-up comedy routine category where you can do a 3-minute stand-up comedy routine and submit that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I we've been running. I've been one of the people running Run and Gun for the last 6 years, and it's a 48-hour film festival in Vancouver. And the last few years, we've sold out so fast that we've had to do live online shows, and our last one had an audience of like 1,000 people watching live. So we have the infrastructure to do live shows, and so now we are slowly kind of converting my living room and getting software where we can have hosts that are all around the world and make some lemonade with this the lemons that we've been provided.
That's so great. Well, this is why we have our Canadian film lemonade segment. Yours is absolutely perfect for that, and I think shocker there, Joel, that it started small and is growing into something much larger. That's sort of your through line all the time, no matter what.
I kind of shoot from the hip. I have an idea, and I don't have that filter in me that goes, oh, this is a bad idea. Maybe people won't like it. I'm like, I've got this idea. No idea how I'm going to deliver, but I'm going to say I'm going to do it. And then now I have to deliver.
You do. The wonderful thing I think about this time, which isn't a wonderful time, but there are silver linings indeed. And, you know, one of them is that I've been thinking about can expand itself down the road for all the arts and creatives. You always hear like, just begin. You know, just there is no I'm not going to quote, I'm trying to quote Yoda and I'm like, I'm going to get that wrong in every Star Wars.
Do or do not, there is no try.
Yeah, but I was trying to like make a cool pun and I was like, I'm going to get no.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is with the do or do not, you know, right now, like, you know, who's been living in their makeshift outfits? Thank you, Finale, for the toques to hide the hair. But, you know, whatever the final product is, that's just something that we could create within. And it takes down that perfectionism bar that I think sometimes halts people from just starting or doing something. And like, what a joy. I cannot wait to watch stand-up comedy performances. I need to laugh.
Oh yeah, honestly, so I've gotten, I think, so submissions are due April 3rd, and I think I've gotten like 15 or so far. So the flood is definitely going to come next week. Everyone always submits like the day before.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know, no one's going to be that precious about it. It's just going to be fun. But like the bar is already high. I was like, what? People are making some amazing content. So I don't know what it's all going to be like, but yeah, but also like I think that I'm glad that a lot of people are taking this time to be creative, but also, you know, people can just come and watch this live show and not feel that pressure, because maybe people do need that break, and who knows? I know that job security in film in particular is not that great during this time, and I just wanted something that positive that couldn't be canceled. Knock on wood. As long as we've got functioning internet and I'm not, you know, having horrible symptoms, I'm being very careful, we can keep this running.
That's the thing, is creativity really can't be canceled. And ultimately, I think when people are quite actually stunted from it, prevented from it, it seems to almost pressure cook it even more. Which is quite a beautiful thing we're seeing. Joel, how can people sign up? First Weekend Club's going to be sure to share. And then also, yeah, where can they do that?
So right now they can sign up at vqpp.ca, Vancouver Quarantine Performance Project. That's going right to the sign up page. And then once sign up is done, it'll go right to the event page where you can watch the live show. And the live show will be the 18th and 19th of April. Or just one of those days if we only get a certain amount of content. It really is going to be based on how much content goes in. And I have no idea how many people are going to submit, but I'm hearing a lot of rumors of teams working on things right now, and you know, people looking for editors and all that sort of stuff. So it's happening.
Goosebumps. So within that, are there going to be awards? And the other question, will that be available? I'm guessing it's not going to be like the sandcastle that washes away after 24 hours. We can watch it if we can that day.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the stream alive, and there is prizes. We're slowly kind of getting those together. Vancouver Screen Scenes has donated a prize. We have David Abusabi's distribution company, the guy who runs the Vancouver Badass Film Festival. I can't think of the name of the company right now, but they've committed. Wendy D has committed to a headshot session. They're all coming in right now, and we're just getting organized with what all the prizes are and where they're going to be for, what they're going to specifically be for. But the cavalry is coming, and I think it's going to be a really exciting event, and I'm excited to have an event to look forward to, because there's just everything I've been looking forward to has been canceled. And I just really wanted to make something that's cancel proof.
Thanks for making lemonade and encouraging others to do the same. And we will do a Canadian Film Lemonade update closer to the time. And First Weekend Club's here totally to support you and
Awesome.
all the creatives who will submit. You know what? I'm going to take you up on the challenge, and I'm going to do something too.
Awesome.
It might not be a song. It might be a short film.
Or a stand-up comedy routine. It's up to you.
I mean, I think I just take off the toque and that'll.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anyway, so any shout outs about Canadian films you would encourage people to watch? Anything like that before we go?
Okay. Well, spend time watching Canadian films. One film that I've been thinking about a lot and wanting to rewatch, and I'm pretty sure it's still for free on the Knowledge Network, is Oil Sands Karaoke. Have you seen it?
Is that Charles
Wilkinson? Honestly, it's such a good, weirdly nuanced film about the people who work in the oil sands in Alberta and their annual karaoke competition. And it's just such a ridiculous film. Heel Kick by Danny Mac is fun. If you want to go, my last feature I've put on my YouTube channel. This is a Spoon Studios. This is the YouTube channel. We've got a lot of fun stuff there. I think this is a great time to be sharing Canadian content. If you're looking for something depressing, Downriver is a really good film. I'm just trying to think. I know I'm going to think of Freaks is on Netflix right now.
Firstweekendclub.ca has your back, and we're going to be uploading now that we've spoken. I'm going to try and get a hold of some of those links too. But firstweekendclub.ca is where people can go to watch and discover more Canadian film. Joel, thank you.
Perfect. Well, stay safe. We'll see you soon.
Happy lemonading.
Yeah, happy quarantine.
I mean.